So I wanted to talk a little bit about the subject of bypassing. Spiritual and otherwise. I mean, the spiritual type, if it's labeled spiritual or understood or experienced as spiritual, it's just the same pattern of avoidant behavior that maybe before one would use overstimulation or food or sex or substances and conventional intoxicants to avoid this. Whatever this is, it's always a this or a that. Something that we can't bear to just experience without filter, without push, without pull. But when it comes to meditation, spirituality, awakening, Buddha Dharma, it's really very easy to allow the shitty old habits of avoidance to creep into one's practice. Oh, this person, this relationship, I don't need to worry about that. Or this emotion, this situation. This is, in a certain way, beneath or outside the purview of practice. And I'll use whatever skill I've gained in meditation to finally perceive the details of the sensory experience and not actually deal with the content when dealing with the content is what is more appropriate. I mean, there's a previous kind, usually previous, of just conceptually bypassing, right? Of using spiritual concepts, things that one may have read or heard from a teacher or a friend or a book, and using that as a bludgeon in a kind of whack-a-mole process of just hitting all of one's thoughts and problems with the same hammer of bullshit conceptual emptiness, or whatever one might be doing, or this is all divinity playing with itself when, or something. And it's actually functioning just as an excuse for one's own bad behavior. So knock it off if you're doing that. There's another kind, which can be more insidious, though, as mentioned previously, actually having some meditative skill, or even indeed some taste of awakening, and then using that to inappropriately glide through or dissolve the content of one's experience, and thereby prolonging suffering for oneself and others. And that's awful. Speaking from experience, having done this plenty, mostly within the context of difficult work or romantic relationships, where it's like, oh, there's something I don't like going on here, or socially. There's something that I don't like going on here. I don't feel good about in my life circumstances, in my relationship, in work or something. And rather than take decisive action now, or make a plan to do so, to change things for the better for myself and others, I'll just sit here like a dead log and let all of the sensation dissolve, extinguish. And I feel better for the moment. So it's okay, right? No. 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 No, just bypass the problem. And if it's some habitual pattern that is residing in you that is causing the problem, just by sitting there and watching it dissolve in a kind of vipassana mode, probably not actually addressing the underlying root causes of whatever that behavior is. And if it's something external, then likely whatever the issue is, it's just going to persist. You've just delayed. I've just delayed. And prolonged whatever suffering I'm trying to avoid. So don't do that. Stop it. Face your problems using all of your resources, conventional, psychological, interpersonal, rely on friends, peers, mentors. And use whatever meditative skill you have to approach every situation with the maximum skill and care and attentiveness. Do that. But don't, like a slimy eel, try to wriggle around a situation, internal or external. Don't do that. I say this to myself as much as to anyone else. In fact, more to myself. Don't do that. Quit it. Same old shit. You know, it's no better than eating potato chips on the couch, binging Netflix. Like, it's not better. Avoiding your problems. What you're doing with meditation in this instance, it's not better. And it can get really ugly, right? You'll see this with some teachers or communities or practitioners who are so enmeshed in their delusional evaluation of themselves and their progress and how they relate and how they show up with other people. And they have enough meditative skill and maybe even a little bit of genuine awakening to just dissolve discomfort in the face of their unskillful action or inaction. And God, some of these people, you just cannot reach them. They are thoroughly cocooned in their own shit. It's tragic. It's really sad. I mean, this is one of the ways that cult leaders will develop. A little bit of narcissism, a little bit of grandiosity, a lot of bypassing. There you have it. There you go. So don't do that. And, you know, a good way to avoid this is ask, right? The people that are close to you, that know you. And, you know, your own, there's no replacement for this, your own honest evaluation of your own mind and heart and behaviors of body, speech, and mind. There's no substitute for that. And ask people you know who know you, how am I showing up? Really? And solicit genuine feedback. And maybe you'll hear some painful things, but that's better. That's better than persisting in delusion that is causing harm to you and others. That's what I have to say on bypassing for now. Take care.